You guys have been asking for some audio videos for a while, and I've got a premium set of headphones right here. It's not too heavy, not too massive, and they sound quite good. These are the Meze 99 Classics, and we've done one Meze video before, and this is improved in every way over the original one that we looked at. Specs first, then we'll talk about the materials they use to build these, and then we'll talk about how they sound, and it should be a quick and simple video. We have 40mm drivers in here. Frequency response range is 15 Hertz to 25,000 Hertz. Sensitivity is 103 decibels at 1 kilohertz. Impedance is 32 ohm only. Maximum power is 50 milliwatts. You have two different cables that come in the box. Got a 1.2 meter cable and also a 3 meter cable. Both of these are braided Kevlar, so quite durable there. It does add a bit of weight, and you'd have to plug this into each side. Plugs into each side of the headphones. There you go. Plug it into each side, and it does have a inline volume control here. So we've got our volume controls right here, and also a mic. As you can see, this one here is walnut wood, and then we have silver trimmings around for the metal. You can get this with gold or silver, and they have walnut. They have maple, and that usually comes with the silver. And then you can also get walnut with the gold trim if you like to look all blingy and gold and all that stuff. I personally think that these are my favorite, so I'm glad that I grabbed these, the silver with the walnut. Each ear cup is precision CNC'd. Is that even a word? Yeah, they do CNC for these things. Feels really nice, and I guess they put it on their website. But hey, if it makes you feel better, it's a piece of wood, so it's like a fingerprint. I guess each set of headphones is completely unique. Above and beyond that, we have some nice memory foam here, and then we have a suspension. There we go, suspension headband right here. And this is nice because it really just sort of sits on your head, and it adjusts to your head, and then it just kind of fits, no matter how big your head is. If there's not really much of a clamping factor. These are extremely comfortable. And of course, we've got our metal going across the top there to keep it in place. Leather up here on the top with some slight padding on the inside. It just kind of floats on top of your head. Now, let's say you wanted maybe slightly less on the clamping factor. You probably could, well, I did a little bit, grab this and bend it a little bit if you want to, just to loosen some of the rigidity. But I found that was not really necessary, and I've got a medium to big head. So, mainly they're just extremely freaking comfortable. There you go. So another thing that's really nice about these, these things are built tough. They're also built simply. And I love that. I love the way these things are made. There's no glue. No glue at all. It's just put together with screws and bolts. That's it, the entire thing. So that means you can take this entire thing apart, down to every little component. Even the PCBs are not glued in. The ports here, no glue there. It's all CNC machined, and then they just insert, everything's inserted in there. There's no glue. That's freaking amazing. So that means you can, replace or fix anything. They're built to last, and they're really tough, so I don't think they're going to be falling apart or anything like that. But, if you ever wanted to mess with anything, you could take it apart and mess with it. If something did come loose, you've got full power here. This is what it means to own a device, being able to open it up and play with every single component. So these things come in a nice hard shell case. On the inside, you've got both of your cables, plus your 1/4 inch to 1/8 inch adapter for plugging into different things, whatever. Those come in a soft shell case. Beyond that, we've also got just an adapter for planes and stuff, one of those dual adapter thingies. All right, so that's all the specs. Let's just talk about how these things sound, because that is, that's why you'd actually buy them. And it would be silly if they were fancy like this and then sounded terrible, but luckily they don't. Let's go ahead and classify the sound. It's a little bright, not tinny bright like, and not really harsh bright, because with the wood, it's sort of a warm and bright sound. Now I noticed that if you look at the frequency response graph, it says that there's a sort of a dip around in the 4K range, and I didn't hear that too much in the headphones. In fact, I felt like, the 2K, maybe somewhere around the 2K, the 4K, sounded amplified, but that might be the 2K sounding a little higher than the 4K range. So I don't know, but it did sound pretty bright in some of the mid-tone areas. The full-on treble on the top was clean and clear, no sibilance that I could detect, and so these are not very harsh. They may be fatiguing if you hate mid-range a lot, but I don't think so. As far as the bass goes, we have a nice tight bass response, and kick drum sounded good. I probably would not recommend these for dance or rap music, but for classical, acoustic, rock and roll, metal, bluegrass, even if you want to listen to country, whatever. They'll be great for all those genres. I mean, you can listen to, hip-hop, R&B, and that sort of thing with these. It's going to give you a nice, clean sound. The bass is going to be there. It's not going to amplify the bass. That's not the experience that they've created here with these headphones. But they'll probably give you a cleaner sound than you're going to get with your Beats or whatever you're going to use, depending on the model of Beats you're using. So there's that as well. Do I recommend these? Yes. If you like rock and roll and those different categories, I do. One thing I want to note is, compared to some of the others in its price range, these do not have quite as soft of a sound signature. So if you want something softer or more bassy, you may have to look elsewhere. But if you want a nice, clean, and very just bright and forward sound, really, really good for vocals and that sort of thing. Really good for acoustic instruments. And also I really liked them for just heavy metal with crunchy guitars, but more on the lines of folk metal and epic metal and that sort of thing. They really sounded great. The impedance is only 32 ohms, but these things sounded different when amplified. They had a smoother sound and a little bit tighter bass when amplified. I'm not sure why that is. So they shouldn't really, they don't need that much to drive them, but I guess a good amplifier can help improve the quality of the sound, and a good DAC, of course, can help things as well. So maybe that's what it was, but these things did sound really nice with a bit of amplification. As the last thing, people may look at these and say, oh, well, those noise canceling. No, these do not have active noise canceling, but they do a very good job of drowning out the outside world. When I've got these on and someone comes in the room and I'm listening to music, they could be talking to me and they're going to get frustrated before they realize that, oh, you're not wearing open back headphones. These are quite closed and they seal everything in. So the soundstage is medium, not massive, but it's not as small as some closed headphones that I've heard. So all in all, I would recommend these. There's a lot of different options in this price range. Biodynamic DT880 premiums are probably still my favorite in this price range, if you can get the premiums at this price. But these do, in my opinion, have a nice aesthetic and a similar sound signature to something like that, nice and bright, and just a good, clean, well-made set of headphones. And I love the fact that you can take these all apart. So those are all some interesting things to consider here with the Meze 99 Classics. Let us know what you guys think in the forum. And links in the description to check out the prices, the current prices. And we'll see you guys in the comments.